There are many BL series and dramas that are currently airing. Here I've got 7 that I've been watching, so let's chat about them. Heesu in Class 2 is about a high school student Heesu who is known for his dating advice. The catch? He's never been in a relationship. He has a crush on his longtime friend Chanyoung but has never told him. Chanyoung, on the other hand, starts showing interest in Jiyu, which makes Heesu panic. So he teams up with class president Seungwon to help pair him up with Jiyu. But Seungwon is not really interested in Jiyu. I really love this drama. From the first episode, I was getting this feeling that I sometimes get with dramas where I can't exactly pinpoint why I love it. I can't give you a list of things why I love it, but it's these wholesome feelings that I get whenever I put on an episode. The last drama that I can remember that made me feel like this was 2521. I'm not saying these are the same at all. I'm not saying that if you like 2521, you're gonna like this, but I personally got the same kind of feelings when I'm watching this drama. I wonder if it's the whole youthful energy, that part in a person's life where you're in high school and that is your whole world and everything is heightened and feels larger than life. As a viewer, you can really feel for these characters because you're either in high school or you're older and you've been there, so you know what it's like. So yeah, I can't really pinpoint exactly what it is, but I'm not watching it because I care what is going to happen. I'm watching because I care for the characters. I think this drama does this really well, where I really care for all 4 main characters, not just the 4 main ones, but I really like all the side characters too. So yeah, the premise is nothing revolutionary, but I just love how everything is put together, from the acting, the writing, the cinematography, the music. Everything I think just comes together really well and makes this whole that really appeals to me. This also really reminds me of a recent Thai BL that I finished, and that is Tame Po. In what way this reminds me of it is that with both these dramas, I think both are an example of how you can take a very basic premise, but with the right execution, you can really make it feel special for the viewer. I would say that even if you're not a fan of high school dramas, I have certainly outgrown them. This is definitely the kind of high school drama that I can get behind. Business as Usual is about Minjeon, who is reunited with his ex, Jinhwan, after 8 years at his workplace. This is a very basic drama premise, not just for BLs, but for dramas in general. It's usually, 2 people that have some sort of relationship, it doesn't have to be romantic, in the past. Then they get separated, usually due to a misunderstanding, and then they reunite. So here it's not about the premise, it's really about the execution and whether you like that execution. The BL that I was reminded of was Our Dating Sim, and I really like that BL. I think with a very basic premise, it comes down to, especially in a BL with less episodes, it comes down to the chemistry between the leads and whether you like the couple. I am actually still a little bit undecided about that. I have seen 2 episodes, I think, and there is nothing glaringly wrong with the drama. Obviously, it's a misunderstanding that happened in the past in this case, because otherwise Jinhwan is a jerk, and that means that he's not a very good romantic lead. So it has to be a misunderstanding. I am actually intrigued to see what that is, but I am not feeling the sparks yet with our leads. Again, it's not terrible, the acting is not bad, it's also not amazing, and the chemistry is also not anything to write home about. For me, I think this is just gonna be, if I actually finish it, the kind of drama that I put on, that I watch, and then I probably forget about it very quickly. Fight for You is about Xiao Bai, who goes undercover to take down an agency that Dahe works for to pay off his debt. They end up being roommates, and with every new mission, they get closer. This drama is very light and fluffy, and I don't actually know how I feel about that. On one hand, I like it. It's light and easy to watch. It doesn't require much thinking. You shouldn't think too much, because then you can find holes in the writing and things just start making no sense. So it's better if you don't think. But yeah, I sometimes like some stuff like that, where I can just put it on and I can just enjoy it without having to think. The whole drama is definitely carried by our leads, who are very cute together, and the promise of the second leads. I assume they're gonna be the second leads based on the opening credits. And all of that is great. You know, I have watched many dramas purely for the couple, and I was still happy with my viewing experience. What really bothers me about this drama is that I think the tone is off. And the reason I think that is because based on the premise and the poster, the drama looks like it's going to be something more serious, but it's not. And I've seen all 4 episodes. In these 4 episodes, there isn't a single thing that makes me think, oh, this drama fits the poster and the synopsis that I've read. Except for Thai BLs, I don't really watch trailers, so maybe that's on me. Maybe I should have just watched a trailer and I wouldn't be this confused about it. I think the way to salvage this for me would have been to just include a serious scene at the beginning. Maybe something from the future where one of the leads is like running from something and he's scared for his life or something like this. An opening sequence that is serious in tone with music that fits that. And then we go, you know, kind of like 2 years before or something like that, you know? And you would then know we're going back in the past, but this is where we're going. And so the fluffy scenes and the comedic tone would have been fine because we're like, oh yeah, we're starting funny, but that's where we're going. But they didn't do that. The opening scene, even if it's trying to be serious, it's not because it has goofy music behind it. To me, that just says, oh, this is going to be a goofy thing. And I just didn't think that. I think that they should have then made like a goofy poster then as well. And everything would have been fine. So yeah, that is what bothers me about it the most. So now I just don't know what to expect. I've seen some comments of people saying, oh, it's gonna get serious. And you can see it's gonna get serious from the opening credits, but it's just gonna be it's either not gonna be serious enough or it's just gonna be such a crazy tonal shift that people who are enjoying the fluffy are just not gonna enjoy it anymore. And people like me who want it serious are maybe not gonna get to the serious stuff. My Golden Blood is a vampire series about Tong, a human with special blood that is irresistible to vampires. That's why he is very sheltered. One day, due to an accident, he meets a vampire named Mark who now has to protect Tong from other vampires and also from himself. I was really excited about this BL, but the one thing that I've been worried since the first trailer was the whole vampire stuff. So we need to start from here. I am in general not a fan of fake teeth and just all of that. That was what worried me from the beginning, and that is also the one thing that I just cannot get behind in this drama. So I have only seen the first episode, and if you have watched my first impressions like short that I've made, I was really excited about the couple, but I said that I don't like the special effects, and I still stand behind that. Unfortunately, I have not watched more than that episode, so I can't really say if my opinion on that has changed. I can just say that I still feel like that about the first episode. So what really happened here is that because I wasn't that crazy about the first episode, whenever, you know, I sit down to watch something, My Golden Blood is never the series that is at the top of my list. And it always gets pushed down. And so now I have 5 episodes that I have to watch if I want to catch up. And I just don't think that's going to happen. There are just so many BLs out there that I can choose from that I'm more excited about. Not just BLs, but also other dramas. So there's only so much time I have in a day to watch things, and My Golden Blood is just not something I ever pick. I'm not writing this off completely. I am still very excited about the pairing, but I just don't know if I'm gonna catch up with it while it's airing. Top Form is about Akin, a very successful actor, and Jin, a new actor. As Jin gets more popular, a playful rivalry develops, but that soon turns into more. So I really liked the 2 episodes that I've seen. I know I'm very behind, but I've seen 2 episodes. This is actually the most recent one on this list that I've started. That's why I'm not caught up, even though I do like it. But yeah, there's not actually much to say about the first 2 episodes, except I think the actor playing Akin is honestly very easy to look at, not gonna lie. And I think his acting is really good so far. I'm not so sure about the other, the actor playing Jin. Maybe it's because he, at the beginning is playing a new actor who's still, kind of shaky on his acting. So maybe that's why I'm not really feeling him quite yet. However, what I am feeling is the chemistry between them. So even if the actor that's playing Jin turns out to not be the best actor, I still think the chemistry is amazing. In that scene where Jin saves Akin, it's just like the chemistry is sizzling and they're only looking at each other. So I am very excited to continue this. I'm not so sure about the wings Can someone fill me in about this? Because I didn't realize from the premise or anything that I've seen that has any like supernatural elements. Is this just an imaginary thing? You know, like, oh, he saved him like an angel, or is he actually an angel? Please let me know, because I'm not sure how I feel about that, if he is actually an angel or whatever that being is. But yeah, so far I really like it. Sweet Tooth, Good Dentist is about Sant, who is obsessed with sweets and even has a channel dedicated to them. One day, his tooth starts to hurt, and because he can't afford the treatment, he volunteers as a test patient for the dentists in training at his university. He starts getting treated by Jay. Sant dislikes Jay at first, but soon things start to change. I was so excited for Mark to finally get his first proper main role. I have loved him in every single role I've seen him in, and I've seen him in many roles. So to say that I am probably skipping this one honestly breaks my heart. I was kinda on board after the first trailer, but seeing the proper trailer, announcing the series I was so disappointed. It looked like a mess, and I can say that the first episode is definitely not as bad as I thought it was going to be after watching the trailer. So whoever did the trailer did not do a good job, if you ask me. But still, I am just not a fan of over-the-top comedy, and this series, or the first episode at least, is full of it. It's just not just one or two scenes, like it's a full-on comedy. And when I don't like the type of comedy that a series is trying to do, then I can't watch it. Also, me not liking the first episode has nothing to do with the premise. I have actually loved a dentist BL before. It was a Taiwanese BL called My Tooth, Your Love. So it's really just about the over-the-top comedy. And just like with My Golden Blood, I am not completely writing it off because I really want to watch the main actors. Another reason besides the main actors that I don't want to completely write this off is that I have done this before. So I have written off a series after not loving the first episode. And after my friend kept telling me over the weeks how much she loves it, and I'm like, oh my god, really? I hated the first episode. I then pushed past the first episode and I ended up loving the series, and that is My School President. I know, I was a hater at the beginning, but I ended up loving it after just, I think, 2 episodes. So that's why I don't want to completely say that I'm never gonna watch this, but maybe I'm gonna need someone else to tell me multiple times how amazing this is to go back to it. On the 20th, we are getting our first BL from GMMTV's 2025 lineup, so check out my thoughts on those trailers here.